For the last several years, the Barndominium world has been obsessed with one thing: bigger. Bigger shops, bigger great rooms, bigger everything. But quietly, in 2026, the opposite trend has been taking over, and it's catching a lot of builders completely off guard. Compact Barndominiums, smart, tight, intentional footprints in the 1,200 to 1,800 square foot range are making a massive comeback. And it's not just downsizers and retirees driving it. Young couples, first-time buyers, and even people who could easily afford something bigger are choosing small on purpose. Today I'm breaking down exactly why this is happening, what these compact designs actually look like in 2026, what they cost, and whether this is a trend worth following or just a passing moment online. Stay with me until the end, because the cost comparison between a compact build and a typical larger barndo might genuinely change how you're planning your own project. Welcome to Homes and Haven. Before we get into it, hit subscribe right now. We cover real Barndominium trends, real costs, and honest design breakdowns every single week. No fluff, no sponsorships. Let's get into it. For most of the Barndominium boom, the marketing pitch was simple: more space for less money than a traditional home. And that pitch worked. People built bigger because bigger was suddenly affordable. But in 2026, something has clearly shifted. The focus across the Barndo community has moved away from chasing maximum square footage and towards something more specific: functionality per square foot. Homeowners are no longer asking how big can we go. They're asking how little can we build while still getting everything we actually need. This isn't a niche shift either. It's showing up consistently across builders, plan designers, and buyer data heading into 2026. Compact, efficient layouts are being chosen not because people can't afford more, but because they've realized more square footage often means more to heat, more to clean, more to maintain, and more to pay for, without necessarily adding more to their actual quality of life. Let's break down exactly why that mindset is taking hold right now. There are a few real, practical reasons compact Barndominiums are surging back into popularity in 2026, and they go well beyond aesthetics. The first is cost predictability. Smaller floor plans with fewer complicated roof lines and simpler structural footprints keep a build schedule and budget far more predictable. In an environment where labor and material costs have been volatile, a simple rectangular footprint with a straightforward roof line is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself from budget overruns and schedule risk. The second is land. As land prices have climbed, especially in desirable rural and central areas near growing towns, a smaller footprint means more flexibility on smaller lots, easier septic and well placement, and lower site prep costs overall. The third, and maybe the most honest one, is lifestyle. A lot of buyers who lived through the open concept, soaring ceiling barndo era have realized that a giant great room is beautiful in photos, but expensive to heat, hard to make feel cozy, and often more space than two people or a small family actually use day to day. The compact comeback is, in many ways, a direct response to that lived experience. And the fourth reason is something we talked about in a previous video on this channel. Every square foot in a barndo has to be insulated, climate controlled, and maintained. Building intentionally, rather than building big, just because the structural cost allows it, has become one of the smartest financial decisions a barndo buyer can make in 2026. So what does compact actually mean in practice? Let's get specific, because compact Barndominiums in 2026 are a far cry from the cramped, boxy layouts people might picture. The most popular compact footprint sits in the 1,200 to 1,800 square foot range, typically built on a simple rectangular shell. This simplicity isn't a limitation, it's the entire point. A clean rectangular footprint is the most structurally efficient and cost-effective shape to build, which means more of your budget goes into finishes and fewer dollars get eaten up by complex framing and roofline work. Inside, these homes lean heavily on open concept living, combining the kitchen, living, and dining areas into a single flowing space. What makes this work in a smaller footprint is the same structural advantage that makes barndos special at any size. The clear-span steel frame means no load-bearing interior walls breaking up the space. This is exactly why a 1,200 square foot barndo can feel like a 1,600 square foot traditional home, because nothing is chopping the space into smaller, boxed-in rooms. 2 bedrooms and 1 to 2 bathrooms is the most common configuration, alongside a compact, practical utility room and a walk-in pantry to maximize storage without adding square footage. High or vaulted ceilings remain a defining feature even at this smaller scale, because that vertical volume is one of the most effective ways to make a compact home feel open and airy rather than tight. A growing number of these designs also add a loft, either a full second story or a partial mezzanine overlooking the great room below. This is one of the most cost-effective ways to add genuine living space, a guest room, a home office, extra storage, without expanding the building's footprint or its foundation cost. Here's something that genuinely surprised me researching this video. 2-story compact barndominiums are surging in 2026, and they're a smart, somewhat unexpected answer to the land cost problem. As land prices rise, especially in desirable areas, builders and buyers are looking to maximize usable square footage on smaller lots by building vertically instead of horizontally. A 2-story compact design can deliver 4 bedrooms and multiple bathrooms inside a footprint that would only support 2 bedrooms as a single story, all without increasing the foundation size or the land footprint needed. The honest trade-off here is real and worth understanding up front. 2-story barndominiums require more complex framing, staircases, and structural engineering than a single-story compact design. Structural engineers confirm that adding a second story typically requires heavier gauge steel columns or upgraded structural floor joist systems to safely carry the additional load, which adds real cost and complexity to the build. They're also a meaningfully different daily living experience, with bedrooms separated from main living areas by a full flight of stairs, which matters for aging-in-place plans, families with young kids, or anyone who specifically wants single-level living. If long-term mobility or one-level living is a priority for you, a 2-story compact design may not be the right fit, even if the square footage math looks appealing. But for buyers who specifically need more bedrooms without more land, or who are working with a smaller or more expensive lot, going vertical inside a compact footprint has become one of the smartest plays in the entire barndominium space in 2026. Let's get to the numbers, because this is where the compact comeback really earns its place in your planning. Barndominium construction in 2026 typically runs $70 to $150 per square foot, depending on finish level, with a lower end covers a basic shell or DIY style kit, and the upper end covers a fully turnkey, builder-finished home. National averages put a completed, standard barndominium right around $230,000 total, which gives you a useful benchmark for everything that follows. For a compact 1,400 square foot barndominium at a mid-range turnkey finish level, you might run around $135 a square foot, landing you at roughly $189,000. Compare that to a much larger 2,800 square foot barndo, where the price per square foot actually drops to closer to $120, because the most expensive fixed cost components get spread out across more total space, and you're still looking at roughly $336,000. That's an extra $147,000 upfront for square footage you might not even use day to day. Here's the honest nuance that matters, and it's a detail most barndo content completely skips. Cost per square foot is not flat across different home sizes. Smaller homes often run a slightly higher cost per square foot than larger ones, because kitchens, bathrooms, and core mechanical systems, the most expensive components in any home to build, don't shrink proportionally with the overall footprint. A 1,400 square foot home still needs a full kitchen with a complete plumbing tree, countertops, and major appliances, and at least one full bathroom, the same fixed cost components a 3,000 square foot home needs. So while compact homes are genuinely cheaper in total dollars, the per square foot savings aren't always as dramatic as people expect on paper. What compact buyers consistently do see, though, is a meaningfully lower total project cost, lower property taxes in most jurisdictions, and significantly lower ongoing utility and maintenance costs, which compound every single year you own the home. I wouldn't be doing this topic justice if I didn't give you the honest trade-offs, because compact living genuinely isn't the right fit for everyone, and pretending otherwise would be dishonest. The most obvious trade-off is storage and flexibility. A 1,400 square foot home has meaningfully less room for guests, hobbies, growing families, or simply accumulating life's belongings over the years. If you're planning to have more children, regularly host extended family, or need serious dedicated space for a home business or workshop, a compact footprint can start to feel genuinely restrictive within just a few years. The second trade-off is resale flexibility in certain markets. While compact homes are in strong demand right now among downsizers, first-time buyers, and minimalist-minded couples, your eventual buyer pool is narrower than it would be for a more conventionally sized 3 or 4 bedroom home, particularly in markets where growing families dominate the buyer pool. The third is the workshop question, which matters enormously in the Barndo world specifically. A lot of people are drawn to Barndominiums in the first place because of the integrated shop or garage space. A genuinely compact design often means a genuinely compact shop, or no shop at all, attached separately as its own structure. If a serious workshop is a non-negotiable part of why you want a Barndo, you need to plan that into your compact design from day one rather than assuming it'll fit later. The honest framework here is the same one we've talked about on this channel before. Build for the life you're actually going to live, not the life you might live someday. For some people, that means compact and intentional. For others, particularly growing families or people with serious hobby or business space needs, it genuinely means going bigger, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Let's bring this together with an honest breakdown of who's actually driving this comeback, and whether you fit that profile. Downsizers and retirees remain a strong segment. People who've raised their families in larger homes and are intentionally choosing to trade square footage for lower maintenance, lower bills, and a simpler daily life. This has always been a strong fit for compact Barndo design and continues to be in 2026. But the bigger story in 2026 is the first-time buyer and young couple segment. With construction and land costs both elevated, a compact Barndominium representing roughly $189,000 against a national average build cost of $230,000 is one of the most accessible paths into genuine, debt-manageable homeownership available right now. Building smaller from the start, with the option to add on later if life genuinely requires it, has become a financially smart starter strategy rather than a compromise. Remote workers and small business owners are also showing up in this trend more than you'd expect, specifically using the loft or a dedicated flex room within a compact footprint as a home office, rather than building an entire oversized home around the need for one extra room. This design probably isn't the right fit if you're planning a growing family in the near term, if a serious dedicated workshop or hobby space is central to why you want a Barndo in the first place, or if you specifically value having significant guest and entertaining space on a regular basis. So is the compact Barndominium comeback a trend worth following, or just a moment? Here's my honest take. This isn't a fad. It's a correction. The Barndo world spent several years optimizing for maximum square footage because the structural cost advantages made it easy to do. The compact comeback in 2026 is buyers and builders recalibrating around what actually makes a home livable, affordable, and sustainable to own long-term, rather than what simply looks most impressive in a listing photo or a tour video. If your life genuinely fits within 1,200 to 1,800 square feet, 2 people, a simple lifestyle, no major hobby space requirements, a compact Barndominium in 2026 will very likely save you real money up front, every single year you own it, and give you a home that's genuinely easier to live in day to day. But if you have a growing family, a serious workshop need, or simply want more room to spread out and entertain, don't let a trend talk you into building smaller than your actual life requires. The smartest Barndo buyers in 2026 aren't the ones chasing the biggest build or the smallest build. They're the ones building exactly what fits their specific life, and that's the real takeaway behind this entire trend. Welcome to Homes and Haven, and I'm glad you're here. That's the honest breakdown of why compact Barndominiums are making such a massive comeback in 2026, what they actually look like, what they cost, and who they genuinely make sense for. If this gave you a clearer picture of how to size your own build, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are in the planning stages of their Barndo journey. If you want more honest, no-hype content on Barndominium design, costs, and trends every week, subscribe right now. Drop a comment and tell me, are you Team Compact or Team Go Big? I read every comment, and your build might become the topic of a future video. Thanks for watching. This has been Homes and Haven, and I'll see you in the next one.